Well, facial recognition systems are about to go mainstream, and I think they're going to be popping up all over the place, probably later this year in 2011. A lot of talk about facial recognition systems, but we haven't really seen them being used that much. That's about to change. The 2001 Super Bowl in Tampa, Florida, actually tested a facial recognition system and scanned the crowds 10 years ago, and it was able to identify people with warrants. They used photos, implemented the targeted felons into the system. 2001 Super Bowl, scanned the crowd, found, I think it was about 13 of the targets were discovered. This was 10 years ago. Okay, this is before the iPhone, before Skype. That was really a primitive system. So get ready for the Orwellian rollout of facial recognition systems, and I'm going to cover some pretty creepy aspects of it here in this video. With any piece of technology, or with most pieces of technology, there are good and bad, of course. So some of the good aspects, if you want to call it that, of the facial recognition is they're using it to find the people, some of the rioters in the London riots. Now, this is really the first time that a mainstream article has been posted saying that facial recognition systems are actually being used to find, the looters in this case, which is fine. But listen to some of these other creepy aspects of the technology. Later this year, Kraft Foods and Adidas and a bunch of other companies are going to start using facial recognition billboards produced by NEC that can detect a person's sex and approximate age on a digital billboard, and then it will display an advertisement tailored to that person. So when you're standing in line at the grocery store or at the checkout line at the mall, pretty soon you're going to start seeing the digital displays are going to start scanning your face. They're going to know who these primitive systems, they're touting, oh, it doesn't know exactly who you are, it just knows what sex you are and approximately what age you are, so then it will tailor its advertisements to you. But of course the next phase of these, the next generation, will identify exactly who you are. There's so many creepy ways. I mean, can you imagine once this becomes mainstream later this year, 2011, 2012, next year, you're going to see some crazy stuff. I don't think I want a billboard to recognize me and to start advertising products to me, and then especially once they know exactly who we are, that's going to be extremely Orwellian. But listen to this. There is a new app, and it's been out for a while now, that uses facial recognition systems to determine the sex of the occupants in bars. So you log onto your cell phone and you can see the bar, and it gives you a tally of the male to female ratio by determining the facial recognition, the facial structures of the occupants. Okay, so that's a little creepy, especially once they start linking those facial recognition systems to the actual people. So this gives cyber stalking a whole new level, because when you can have some lunatic log onto his cell phone, view whatever bar or restaurant he wants to view, and then actually see who's there, and identify everybody, that just opens up a whole can of worms. You thought cyber stalking was bad before. I feel sorry for hot girls in bars anyway. But with facial recognition systems going mainstream, it opens the door for some really horrible stuff. In my book, Big Brother, the Orwellian Nightmare Come True, I cover an app that was supposed to come out for the Android phone, a facial recognition app, which I think they have banned, because the friends that I have that have the Android phone, this app is not in the App Store yet. And it should have been by now. So I think they've banned this app because they realized what a Pandora's box this app would do. It's called the Recognizer app, and using your cell phone, you just snap a picture of someone, and then it finds their Facebook page or their MySpace page or their LinkedIn page, and it identifies them. And so that is horrible. I mean, can you imagine some creeper in a bar taking pictures of hot chicks and then finding out who they are, their name? Even if their Facebook page is set on private, they're still going to have their name. And a lot of people don't have their Facebooks set on private. They just don't understand the implications of this new media. And so I think they're going to be quite shocked when they're approached by guys in the bar that already know who they are, where they work, what they do, what the name of their dog, what kind of dog they have. I mean, this is the Orwellian nightmare. And so again, 10 years ago, they tested this system at the Super Bowl. Now they're using it, actually implementing it to find people, the rioters in the UK riots. For 5 years at least now, these facial recognition systems have been used in casinos in Las Vegas and in Atlantic City, because the casinos want to identify card counters. So if somebody is busted for card counting or for cheating or for stealing in a casino, that person's face is then put into the system, and as soon as they walk in the door, it will identify them and alert security, and they'll come and throw them out again. So this has been in numerous casinos. Fairly quiet. They don't like to, everybody knows that casinos have a lot of security, really some of the most secure places in the world, because the organized criminals want to, keep their money. It's a great racket, so they need to protect it. And so casinos have been using it. There's been some tests on some streets in Europe and outside of some schools that have tried it. It's been very little has been reported on this, but now that the technology seems to be ready to roll out, you're going to start seeing the face scanning cameras. They don't even need to be new cameras. This is the same camera. It's just that every security camera that's already up is just going to be fed into a new computer system. And now every facial recognition camera is going to know exactly who you are. And this opens up a whole can of worms for political protests. The cops are going to go through and take videotapes of people and find out who's at these protests. That's the big problem with a lot of this stuff. Isn't, I'm not worried necessarily of being watched, even though it's creepy. What I'm worried about and what I've experienced is discrimination, really. So you go to a political protest. It's part of your private life, and maybe your boss, you don't want your boss to know about your political affiliations. It can hurt your career, and all that's going out the window. And there's actually systems now that they've been testing that can go and scan YouTube videos and use facial recognition systems on the videos. So it can just go through the video feeds and just pick out and identify who's in the videos. This is how powerful this technology is. So get ready for the rollout of facial recognition systems all over the place. We got to watch this really close. We need to monitor the social implications from this. We need to resist the invasions of privacy that this is going to bring upon society. This is the New World Order. This is the Orwellian nightmare, and it is coming true. I'm Mark Dice with The Resistance.